This year marks the 33rd anniversary of the Women Power Revolution, the assassination of Benigno Aquino Jr. in 1983. Decades of oppressive and totalitarian rule. The fraud during the 1986 presidential snap elections. These are some of the reasons why more than 2 million Filipinos decided to revolt against the government. I was born 13 years after the said revolution. I've never seen the revolution. When they are talking about the revolution, the words and phrases such as extrajudicial killing, ill-gotten wealth, human rights violation, dictatorship, and martial law were always said. I made a research about the said revolution, and I've seen the other side of the coin. According to my research, the person who was accused of violation of human rights, extrajudicial killing, and corruption was the person who has made the Philippines progressive. Former President Ferdinand Marcos was the man behind things. When he was the president, he made sure that food is sufficient. He continued the Green Revolution. Green Revolution was supported by several international agencies, and their main goal was to increase food production. Production of rice was increased through promotion of cultivation of IR8 hybrid rice. In 1968, the Philippines became self-sufficient in rice. Our country also exported rice worth $7 million. Biyayang Dagat, who supported fishermen. Bakaang Barangay supported fattening of cattle in farmer backyards. Masaganang Maisan, May Sagana, and expanded Yellow Corn Program, who supported 1.4 million farmers through 4.7 billion loans from 1975 to 1985. Gulayan sa Kalusugan ng Pagkain ng Bayan program, who provided grants and loans of 1.4 million pesos to encourage backyard and communal production of vegetables and improve nutrition of Filipino household, and Kilusang Kabuhayan at Kaunlaran, who supported 25,000 entrepreneurial projects through 1.8 billion pesos in helping 500,000 beneficiaries.
The government also prioritized the improvement of education system of our country. Access to free education widened during his administration. The biggest portion of the budget was allotted for educational programs, 58.7 billion pesos in 20 years. The literacy rate climbed from 72% in 1965 to 93% in 1985, and almost 100% in Metro Manila on the same year. During his administration, he built government hospitals. The Philippine Arts Center was established through Presidential Decree No. 673 issued by former President Ferdinand Marcos in 1975. Under Presidential Decree No. 1823 by former President Ferdinand Marcos, the Lung Center of the Philippines was established on January 16, 1981. The National Kidney Transplant Institute was established on January 16, 1981. During his administration,
The government also made medical care accessible to millions of Filipinos in the remotest parts of the country by starting the Primary Health Care Program. This program was awarded by United Nations as the most effective and most responsive healthcare program among the third world countries. In addition, his administration also built numerous infrastructures which are still being used nowadays. The Cultural Center of the Philippines was built through Executive No. 30, Series of 1966. The Tanghalan Francisco Balagtas, or the Fox Arts Center, was commissioned by former First Lady Imelda Marcos in 1974 for the Miss Universe pageant. The Philippine International Convention Center, located at the Cultural Center of the Philippines Complex in Pasay City. Makiling Center for the Arts, or the National Arts Center, located in Mount Makiling, Los Baños, Laguna. Makiling Center for the Arts was established in 1976. Naim Filipino was built from scratch in 1969 through the patronage of the former First Lady Imelda Marcos. People's Park in the Sky was built in 1981 during Marcos' regime. It was to serve as a guest house for the U.S. President Ronald Reagan. His government also built the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. The Bataan Nuclear Power Plant is the first ever nuclear power plant in our country. It was completed but has not generated a single watt of electricity. His successor didn't let the power plant to be operated for some reason. Here's some of what former President Ferdinand Marcos has done for our country. I will not experience what life was under his regime, but I can say that he is the greatest president because of what I experienced with the former administrations. According to an unknown person, the problem of our society is that we condemn great people and we praise fools. This is true because we tend to praise fake heroes and condemn the person who made the Philippines progressive.